Hello, relationship enthusiasts. I want you to pay attention to this video. A woman took her husband to court because of lack of sex in her marriage. Kindly pay attention to what the judge said and how she handled this matter at the end of this video. Let's watch.
Man,
I want a divorce.
I'm going to end this before you insult me.
Today's the case of Renita Crane versus Jeffrey Polk in this session of Divorce Court.
All rise. Court is now in session. Maybelline Ephraim presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is the matter of Jeffrey Polk versus Renita Crane. And Mr. Polk, I'm advised that after 8 years of marriage, you're ready to end it.
Yes, Your Honor.
Why?
Your Honor, as you can see, I'm in a wheelchair, and I felt a little insecure about myself, and I figured that no woman would want a guy in a wheelchair. And so I met Renita maybe I say about 10 months after my accident, and she showed interest that, that she would, wouldn't mind being with a guy in a wheelchair, that she has no problem, she would overlook that.
Showed some sensitivity to you.
If that's what you want to say. Well, it's like we dated for a while, and I admit that, we didn't really get a chance to know each other. And so we had got married, and basically she betrayed the marriage, she lied, she even cheated.
How did she betray the marriage and lie? What did she do?
Well, we had like arguments, whatever, discussions like normal couple do, and she would, instead of talking to me about it, she would go to her friends.
I couldn't talk to him.
Well, that's not unusual for a wife to go to friends sometimes as opposed to the husband, but what was the betrayal?
I understand that, but if you got problems with your husband, you discuss it with your husband, not with the whole neighborhood, though.
Oh, she discussed it with the entire neighborhood?
Basically.
Not just a friend, but everybody that would listen?
Pretty much.
Oh, so putting your business in the streets?
What
Yes.
street?
The neighborhood?
No business to put it in. What was I supposed to tell? Jeffrey would not listen to me.
Told
He would not
everything.
know. He would not talk to me.
She told
Okay, what would she
everything.
tell? What kind of things would she tell the neighbors?
She even told things like about our sex life and everything that shouldn't even
What
went out
sex
the
life,
house.
Jeffrey? Come on now, get real.
So what do you mean, what sex life get real?
How are we supposed to have sex, Your Honor? Jeffrey
So maybe
in a
that is what
wheelchair.
you did talk about, the fact that you couldn't have sex with him.
We didn't talk about that. We didn't talk about
You
that. No, Jeffrey, I pressed and pressed for Jeffrey to do anything.
Like what?
Just show me love, any kind of love. It wasn't the fact that he was in this wheelchair. I didn't care. I loved him. I wanted to
what
be
was
with
it?
him.
It was
the
about
fact
money.
that it wasn't about money
Hold on,
either.
Mr.
It was about
Polk.
the fact that Jeffrey could not talk to me in a civil tone. Everything Jeffrey had to say had to be negative. I'm
Like
not a
what?
negative. Anything that came out of Jeffrey's mouth was negative.
Anything that came out of his mouth?
Anything.
Even he never called you
Anything
by
like
your
what?
name? What do you mean when you say anything that came out of his mouth was negative? He
Anything-
never had a kind word to say to you?
Hell.
No.
Give me some examples.
No, like, say for instance, when we first got married, it was cool. We was trying to get to know one another and everything.
Trying to get to know one another after you got married?
Yes, ma'am.
Didn't try
It was only
before
a
you
month.
got married?
We only dated a month.
So
We only
you-
dated a month before we got married.
You met Mr. Polk a month before you married?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
He was in a wheelchair?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you find out why he was in the wheelchair?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you know whether he had any limitations?
I tried to see if he had
No.
any.
Did you
How'd you
ask
try to
him
see?
whether he had any
I
limitations?
just tried to see. She saw it for herself. I had no limits. The only thing I couldn't do was walk, Your Honor.
When I met Jeffrey, Your Honor.
No, she was
To
looking
me-
at it for money.
What money, Jeffrey? I knew you didn't have none.
I didn't know what I had because I didn't put you in my bank
Please.
account.
Please,
I
Wait a
Jeffrey.
minute, Mr.
Stupid.
Polk. If she was looking at money, then you had to have told her what you had to make a comment that she was looking at
It's
money.
the way I carried myself. The things I had, she figured I had money.
What did you have and how did you carry yourself?
I had nice clothes. I had 2 cars at the time.
You had one car, Jeffrey.
I had 2 cars. I gave one car to my mom.
So you thought that impressed her?
I didn't know you had the car, Your Honor.
Your Honor, the night I met her, even though I met her in a club, the wrong place to meet your future wife, she saw my car.
So you're not limited in that?
No, ma'am.
And you can drive?
Yes, ma'am.
And you
Yeah,
can party, I
control.
guess, because you at the club, huh?
You know what,
Right,
Your Honor?
right.
That was my first time going out to
Right.
an accident, and I was around the house, kind of feeling a little down, and my brother asked me to get out the house one day.
Right.
So I went out the house and, went to enjoy myself and meet, people, and I met Renita, and her friend told her that, came to me mentioning that she had interest in me or whatever. She thought I was an attractive guy or whatever, so I went over there and had a conversation with her and her friend. I bought him a drink. And we just sitting up there just, basically having a conversation.
So
and
where
after
did you get the money in it?
Well,
then,
maybe you had
Jeffrey?
been cooped up so long. How long had you been confined to the house?
Almost a year. I had been in the hospital off and on for like about 4 or 5 months.
So you hadn't seen the light of day for a while?
Yes.
So maybe you had some clouded vision while you were sitting in that club?
Pretty much.
It was pretty dark in there, Your Honor, for me to see that he had on nice clothes. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty dark. I didn't know he had on nice.
What type of clothing he had on?
Yes, it was.
That dark, you didn't need to be there.
Yes, it was.
Well, if it was
a club. It was a club.
Well, if it was that dark, how could you see that he's a nice-looking man and know that you were interested in him?
Hello.
Because we were sitting pretty close to his table. We were sitting close to the table, whatever. He is a nice-looking guy. I looked past that wheelchair he's sitting in.
I agree.
That wasn't important to me. What was important is the type of person that he was.
So what turned you on about him in a month?
Jeffrey seemed very confident within himself. Like I said, he was doing things for himself. He was driving. You know, he was going and coming as he pleased, and that struck an interest in me.
So the wheelchair wasn't confining.
Right, here was a man that had this disability, but yet and still he was out doing things. Jeffrey played wheelchair basketball.
All right.
You know,
Cut
different
hair,
stuff. You know, things like that attracted me to him.
So he was still self-supporting and taking care of himself and not
I found that very attractive. But as the months went on, I'd say about 6 months, because the marriage only lasted 6 months.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did, Jeffrey. It only lasted.
I thought you'd been married 8 years.
We've been married,
Right,
Your Honor, 6 years. We've been married 6 years. We've been separated for 5.5.
What?
Yes, ma'am.
So what happened in a few months you lost that attraction?
Jeffrey, like I said, we could never talk about anything. Every time I wanted to bring up something, Jeffrey didn't want to listen. Whatever, like the sex thing. You know, Jeffrey stopped sleeping in the bed with me. Why? He would sleep in his chair. I would ask Jeffrey constantly, Jeffrey, you gonna get in the bed? No, he ain't moving. He's staying there.
You know the reason why we
slept
get in
in
the
the chair.
He slept in the chair.
After 5 months or right at the beginning or what?
I say about 3 months down the line.
Why would I sleep in the chair? I would have to elevate my legs at night when I go to bed.
You did elevate your legs, Jeffrey. You had a stool in front of that chair. Don't try to play me.
So why wouldn't you sleep with your wife?
Because, Your Honor, it's like, when we have our problems, whatever, come to find out that she would go to her so-called best friend house, and her ex-boyfriend would be down there. She'd be down there like from all day.
That's not true, Jeffrey.
All day at the ex-boyfriend's house.
Jeffrey would only allow me to be out the house.
Wait a minute, in 5 years, you only lived together 5 months.
We lost our house, Your Honor. We moved in with my mother. My best friend stayed down the street.
You lost the house in 5 months?
Did we not lose that house, Jeffrey? Why did we have to move in,
me and my mom had a
Jeffrey?
house. And I decided her mom was a school teacher, Your Honor, and her mom went on vacation for 2 weeks. She asked us to babysit the house. I was like,
babysit the house? She means stay in the house and take care of it.
Exactly.
No.
Yes.
We lost our house. We moved in with his mama.
You should go our house.
Well, your mama
We never
house.
have me and my mom had a house, Your Honor.
You and your mama house. Whichever way you want to put it. We got put out of it.
She's lying so much. You had a lie detector on her, Your Honor. Hook her up. It'll shock her. She'd be a roasted pigeon.
You a daggone lie, Jeffrey. Come on.
Hold on. Let me back up. It's not making sense to me. If you're just staying at her house to keep her for 2 weeks, how did that prevent you from paying the mortgage at your mother's house?
Well, I was also, then eventually we ended up staying there, Your Honor, at her mom's house. I ended up paying rent at her mom's house.
Okay, so what you did was moved in effect.
Yes.
And then you stopped paying the mortgage at your mother's place.
Yes.
But your things were at your mother's place.
Some of my things were there.
So just like she said, you got evicted.
Yes.
What happened after you moved to your mother's house and you were there for 4 or 5 months?
Jeffrey said, well, I went to go register for school. I had lost my job because we couldn't get back and forth because Jeffrey's car had broke down.
She's lying so much. You had a lie detector on her, Your Honor. Hook her up. It'll shock her. She'd be a roasted pigeon.
He'd get shocked right along with me.
A pigeon.
Well, I don't have
He would get shocked right along with me.
Well, neither of you is going to get shocked today because we don't have any lie detector tests to give you. You just have to tell me the truth and I'll decide whether you lied.
You lucky.
I'm telling you the truth. We moved back to my mom's house. The car broke down. I lost my job.
And the buses didn't run.
I didn't know how to explain how the buses ran back
And you didn't
then.
know how to call them and ask.
I could have done that, Your Honor, but I was just one call to let
she would
people
catch the
know
bus and go to the
I was
mall?
going to be late. The mall,
Yes.
the mall is right
Yes.
over the river, Jeff.
Okay, your job is right over the river.
It wasn't nowhere.
Well, it all depends on what your priority is.
But that mall was
But when I
somewhere,
called
wasn't
people to let them know I was going to be late because my brother was going to give me a ride, the lady fired me. So I said, okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to cosmetology school. And that's what I did. The day I went to go register for cosmetology school, Mr. Polk right here was getting into his car, told me he was going to play
the car that was broken down that you couldn't use?
Right, he had got it fixed.
All right.
I got it fixed.
I said he got it fixed. I said
okay, then what
got it fixed. So he got in his car, told me he was going to play wheelchair basketball.
No, I didn't. She asked me where I'm going. I said, don't worry about where I'm going. Worry about if I'm coming back.
You said I'm going to Larry house to play wheelchair basketball.
No,
Talk to me.
With all my
Didn't hear from
clothes.
Jeffrey no more.
With all my clothes, you want to go play basketball?
Jeffrey, you took everything, even the marriage license. If you weren't going to why
sure
you take
did.
that
I took it
then?
and I ripped
He was
it up.
leaving then, right or
Yeah,
wrong?
I sure did. I
That's what he
ripped it
said.
up.
He was leaving.
You always at your friend's house.
I'm
Wait a
trying to
minute.
talk
Now,
to the
why
judge, please.
why in the world did you get married if you walking out
Like
in
I
3
said, Your
months?
Honor, I felt insecure about myself, and
He wasn't insecure. He did everything he wanted to do. Jeffrey
still
had
young.
women. Jeffrey dated women.
I was still young, Your Honor.
You still young now. What do you
right.
say when
You
you say you got married, believing that even in your condition, that you could be married, could live a normal life,
Right.
could satisfy your wife,
Right.
but then after you got married, you were afraid that you wouldn't be able to do that, so you just didn't try?
He was a
No,
chicken.
I did try, Your Honor. It's like I
He
said.
was a chicken.
Let's stop the name calling. I don't want to hear that. We're not reducing it to that level. If you thought he was such a confident and wonderful man before, let's keep that thought. If you think otherwise, no name calling. Same thing to you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right?
All right.
The same woman that you thought was a wonderful person and you married her.
Right.
Just because you now changed your mind, you would not use this forum to disrespect her and call out her
Okay.
name. All right?
I apologize.
Thank you very much. You do the same.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right. Now, what are you talking about now? After 5 months, what could you have accumulated? What is it that I need to divide? You didn't stay long enough to get anything.
Right.
Your
And
Honor.
I'm really offended that
Your Honor,
Jeffrey
my ring I
brings
bought
me
her,
here.
she
I'm
even
really
loaned it
offended
out to
that
a
Jeffrey
friend.
brought me here,
Here you
Your
are.
Honor. I'm offended that he brought me here.
Okay, be offended, but he's brought you here. What you want?
I want a divorce.
All right, you can get that.
I want her to pay me back for the ring I bought her. The ring I bought. I know it's supposed
It
to be
was
a
a
symbol.
gift, Jeffrey.
You're right, it's a gift.
Let him
but-
finish, please.
Thank you. It was a gift, Your Honor. I agree.
The
But-
ring you bought her?
Yes.
The wedding ring?
Yes.
Why should she pay you back for that?
Because after we had separated, Your Honor, she let her friend borrow the ring, Your Honor. Borrow
Borrow
the ring.
a wedding ring?
The ring that I bought her, yes. And the friend lost it.
What? The friend wanted to pretend that she was married?
No,
Her
Your
friend
Honor, that's
wanted me,
not
Your
what
Honor.
happened.
Why did your friend,
friend
you
wanted
loaned
me.
your friend the ring?
I didn't loan it to her. It was like 2 months into, not 2 years after our separation is when I let my friend hold this ring.
Why?
She had the band part and I had the diamond
Why?
part of it. Because she was my friend.
So why are you exchanging wedding bands?
This was my best friend. This is a girl I had grew up with since I was a tot.
So now you have your ring back.
I always had the ring, Your Honor. I just,
You just let her wear the band part and you kept
what
the diamond.
happened was the band part had snapped when I had it on my thumb. It had cracked. That's how cheap the ring was,
Oh,
Your
my
Honor.
goodness.
The ring was worth $119.
I guess you was that strong, you
the
broke a
little
ring.
chip or scratch of a diamond that was in it,
Okay.
I was
That's
wearing
not the
around
point.
my neck.
That's not the point, Your Honor. It was a symbol I love.
It was
what,
It
the
doesn't matter.
chain, and the
It doesn't
chain
matter.
broke, and I lost it.
Don't belittle it now. If you accept
Thank
the
you.
I've been belittling it since I had it.
Okay.
Oh, so you were never
Hold
satisfied
it, Your Honor.
with
She
it.
picked
Oh, no,
it
I
out.
was satisfied with
Your
it.
Honor, she picked
All
the
right,
ring
now
I
out.
was satisfied with it,
Stop.
Your Honor, because that's all he could afford at that time. And I love this man.
No, that was all he
and I
was
knew-
worth.
Mr. Polk,
I'm sorry.
the fact that you're disabled doesn't give you any kind of special privileges in this court.
You're right.
You still have to respect me.
Yes, ma'am.
You gave her the ring. She can do with it what she pleases.
Well,
So,
she
what
even
else?
gave him. I had a pair of boots on. When I was leaving,
You're
I
right.
had
Let him
left.
finish.
I had left, and I didn't want to argue with her, so I left a couple things at the house. I left a pair of boots. Your
Everything
Honor.
that you couldn't take with you.
Right. And I had left a pair of $75 boots, Your Honor. And I had called her like maybe a week later, and I asked her, I was like, well, I left some things at the house, can I come back and get them? She had told me no. And so I had let like some weeks pass, let her calm down, whatever, maybe I get my things back. She told me that she had sold the boots for $75.
Were these special made boots?
Well, I have a big feet, Your Honor, so
So they were special made.
pretty much.
So why'd you sell his boots?
I sold the boots, Your Honor, because he left. Like I said, I was going to cosmetology school. I didn't have any money, and I
You're right,
needed
you didn't
some
have no
money.
money. She went on my
I
disability
needed some
to
money.
cosmetology
I did not
school.
go on your
Yes, you
disability,
did.
Shaka. I'm sorry, Jeffrey. I am sorry.
Let me finish.
I am sorry.
Who
I did not
Shaka?
go.
Shaka, your other man? She getting you
Huh?
confused. We
Yes,
better
she
hurry
is.
up.
Real quick.
I think.
I'm sorry for that. Excuse me for calling you out your name. But
Oh,
No, you
my
called him
name.
another man's name.
Thank you.
how you know
You
Shaka's
talking about-
a man? Shaka could be a woman.
Oh.
But I'm just saying, you know, it's a gender sex day.
So
It can
now,
go either
I
way.
ask you point blank, who is it, a man or a woman?
It's a man.
All right then, that's how I knew. Called him out and got.
Yeah.
That's why this marriage is over.
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
It's been over from
That's
the
why.
Now,
beginning.
what'd you do with his boots? Give him the shock?
No, ma'am. I sold the boots for $75.
Why did you sell his boots?
Because I was broke, Your Honor. I needed some
See, I
money. I was
was
going to
broke.
cosmetology.
And you couldn't
wanna
sell
work.
any of your belongings?
I didn't have anything to sell.
What about that ring you let your friend wear?
Hello.
Well, now that was like, it was precious to me at that time.
Oh, it was precious, but you gonna loan it out to your friend.
wear it.
I let my friend wear it 2 years down the line, Your Honor. It wasn't like I just gave it to my friend.
And you didn't have any
right
boots or
after.
any shoes that you could sell?
Yeah, because she was materialistic, yo. And I didn't give her money. She would go to the mall and just buy tennis shoes and clothes.
Wait a minute. I'm saying you took the bus to the mall because you said that was close to the house. But you didn't take the bus to work. So if you took the bus to the mall, you really like shopping. So that means you had some things in your closet you could have sold.
Yep.
Why didn't you sell some of your things?
No, I'm just a mall person. I just love the mall. I don't have to shop to go to the
Materialistic,
mall.
Oh, now she really thinks that I'm just...
No, I don't have to shop at the mall.
Stop! I'm going to end this before you insult me.
I'm not trying
And
to
insult my
you.
intelligence
I'm not
because
trying to insult
then
you.
we're going to have a serious
To this
problem.
very day, Your Honor, I
Just
go to the
close your
mall
mouth.
and not buy anything. I
Yeah,
just
right.
like going
She can't
to the
close her
mall.
mouth.
Yes, she can. Give him back the $75 for his boots. You didn't need to sell his boots. You could have sold some of your belongings or anything else. You were just being mean. You were just upset and you were mad that he had left you. And you sold his boots out of spite. Simple and plain as that.
She even threw clothes
And I'm not,
away.
be quiet, Mr. Pope.
Okay.
So return the $75 to him, unless you can get his boots from Shaka, whoever it is.
I didn't want them back, Your Honor.
But I don't think he wants them anymore. $75 you owe him for the price of the boots. Court's adjourned.
Hopefully, I can just enjoy my life being a single woman in a single perfect world.